It's going to be a movie, One Piece. Fans excited for Luffy Kizaru's fight in episode 1127. One Piece episode 1126 covered several important events. It started with Bartholomew Kuma running away from the Revolutionary Army base and going to Marioa. The soldiers attacked Kuma as he passed through the Holy Land, but they couldn't stop him. Shortly afterward, Sakazuki appeared, and he only had one goal in mind: to eliminate Kuma. The fleet admiral didn't hold back and used all kinds of attacks to subdue Kuma. Before Sakazuki could land the decisive blow, Kuma used his devil fruit to escape from the place. The episode also included the beginning of Luffy's fight with Kizaru. While there was decent action in the episode, it will be nothing compared to what fans will see in episode 1127. The new episode will have movie-level animation. Judging from the preview of episode 1127, the quality of this particular episode will be higher than anything fans have seen since the anime's return. In fact, the staff put so much effort into the episode that it looks like a movie. This is proof that Toei Animation is serious about taking the One Piece anime to the top again. One Piece episode 1127 might even break Crunchyroll records for accumulating the most likes. Additionally, it will help the anime reclaim the top spot. Thanks for knocking me all the way down. Luffy, so far all the fights involving Luffy's Gear 5 have been incredible. The studio has made a note to put its best staff on such episodes. The most recent example was the fight between Luffy and Rob Lucci. The entire episode was fantastic, but the part that focused on Luffy and Lucci's fight was the best. There is a good chance that Luffy's battle against Kizaru will supplant it in terms of overall quality. Fans can rest easy when it comes to animation, but they will be eager to know if Luffy can beat the Admiral in combat. Can Luffy overcome Admiral Kizaru? Luffy has the tools to beat. The Admiral Luffy has improved significantly since his last encounter with Kizaru. The pirate has learned to use all types of haki and even their subtypes. With time, his control has improved further, allowing him to overpower foes with haki alone. Luffy's attack and defense are nearly perfect. His observation haki allows him to see into the future and find out what his opponent's next action will be. Once Luffy knows what is going to happen next, he can use armament haki and conqueror's haki to prepare a counter. Boom. Aside from his haki, Luffy also has access to an insanely overpowered devil fruit, which he has successfully awakened. Luffy tried using Gear 4th against Kizaru, but it did not make much of a difference. So he had to tap into the power of Gear 5, which is his strongest form. Clearly, Luffy will not be holding back, as he wants to beat the Admiral at all costs. Kizaru has one of the strongest devil fruits. Naturally, Kizaru won't hold back, as the Admiral has been tasked with exterminating Vegapunk, but he cannot do it until Luffy is beaten. Kizaru may not have an awakened devil fruit, but he still has access to a plethora of strong abilities. Kizaru's Pika Pika no Mi is one of the most destructive devil fruits in One Piece. In fact, Vegapunk conducted extensive research on its power and developed new weapons that work on the same principle. As seen in Kizaru's previous fights, all of his attacks are dangerous and can cause serious harm to an individual, which is why Luffy needs to be extra careful. Additionally, Kizaru's devil fruit grants him increased speed. Basically, the Admiral can travel at light speed, blitzing anyone who tries to stand in his way. Kizaru can also use observation and armament haki at a high level, so he can easily bypass Luffy's defenses and hurt him. Considering the abilities of both fighters, it's safe to say that the fight between them will be absolutely insane. Neither of them will step down until the fight is over. The One Piece anime was on break for a very long time as it went on a hiatus for 6 months, which was sudden and unexpected. Now the anime has returned, re-energized, and better than ever before. While there are a few controversial moments sprinkled here and there, the overall quality has been solid and fans got a phenomenal episode last Sunday. Now, One Piece episode 1128 is up next, and it's sure to not disappoint. An incredible preview for One Piece episode 1128 was released, and it's directed by one of the One Piece team's most talented directors. One Piece episode 1128 is going to be movie quality. Fans couldn't be more excited. The One Piece anime has generally been delivering amazing quality. Even though the last few episodes were not very well received by fans, and many were annoyed by the pacing, as well as some modifications made to the source material. That said, the episode from last week, One Piece episode 1127, was incredible in its own right. It featured the fight between Luffy and Kizaru, and while the fight had a rough start in the episode before that, One Piece 1126, this one was well worth the wait. The upcoming One Piece episode 1128, will be even better, which is hard for the fans to imagine. The preview for One Piece episode 1128 is out of this world and features some of the best animation and direction seen in One Piece. The preview teases some pretty big events to come. Specifically, it highlights one of the members of the Gorosei, or Five Elders, the one known as Saturn. Saturn is a major character in this arc, and what he does next is going to shock One Piece fans who have not read the manga. The director of One Piece episode 1128 is Nozomu Shishido. He directed Luffy vs. Lucci and the first Egghead episode. The incredible quality that will be seen in One Piece 1128 is in huge part thanks to its incredible director, Nozomu Shishido. Nozomu Shishido is perhaps the most talented director working on One Piece right now, especially with Megumi Ishitani's absence. Fans aren't surprised that this incredible episode is directed by him, as he has also worked on other amazing Egghead arc episodes. For example, he worked on the very first episode of Egghead, which really blew fans away with how unique it looked and how the storyboard was different from anything else seen in One Piece. He also worked on another extremely memorable One Piece episode, and that is One Piece episode 1100. For fans who don't remember, this episode featured the fight between Luffy versus Lucci, where the animation and direction were simply stunning, and until now it may be the best in the whole arc. Fans have extremely high expectations from Nozomu Shishido, and he will definitely not disappoint, judging from this preview. Fans definitely hope that the quality stays at least a bit consistent after that, however, as this arc has really had some ups and downs. What's to come next in One Piece's Egghead arc? The Egghead arc is only just heating up. The Egghead Island arc is the first one of the final saga, and it has quickly become a favorite among viewers for many reasons. The setting, characters, fights, and lore are all amazing, and anime-only viewers have only scratched the surface so far. The main antagonists of this arc have yet to make their full appearance, and the threat to come is far higher than anything seen with Kizaru and the Marines. Certain characters fans have waited decades to see in action will finally make a move. In the following episode, One Piece 1128, will showcase just that. Fans should also keep in mind that Vegapunk has a lot to offer, as is expected of someone with his intelligence. Furthermore, Luffy versus Kizaru isn't over yet, so fans of the anime just need to be a bit more patient and see what Oda has in store for this incredible story. And hey, if you enjoyed the hype, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe to join the Grand Line with us, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a single moment from One Piece _Paradise.